Anybody who says that today is a slow day for cryptocurrency news just hasn't been looking hard enough. We have a lot of big things that I want to go over with you today, some big things. And I think what we're going to lead to in this video is this right here. There are three different charts, three different sets of data that paint a picture for a very bullish case for Bitcoin. And these three charts, or these three sets of data, really pique the interest of institutional investors, and so far are soliciting amazing responses. This is a tweet from Plan B himself, a traditional finance guy who popularized the stock to flow ratio in the Bitcoin world. So this is what we're leading to. These three charts paint a very bullish case for Bitcoin, and we're going to go over what exactly are we looking at here. We're going to talk about it. We're going to explain it. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where, of course, you subscribe for our daily videos on everything going on with Bitcoin, crypto, the whole market. My name is Aaron. What's there to say? Let's get right to it. Like the video, support the channel, and check this out. I wanted to start with, this is actually, I think, a big deal. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with SoftBank, which is a major bank. I think they're located in Japan, but check this out. The financial giant SoftBank has just broken into the cryptocurrency payments game. They launched a new bank card, a debit card with 10,000 stores already on board. So think of SoftBank like a Chase or a Bank of America or a PNC, except they're located in Tokyo. It's a multinational conglomerate holding company, and it's introducing its own SBC wallet card, the SoftBank Card 3.0. You can look it up. It works like a traditional debit card. It is a debit card, except what's cool about it is that it has a built-in cryptocurrency wallet. So according to the announcement, the SBC wallet card aims to provide improved security, better accessibility, especially when compared to traditional cryptocurrency wallets. The cards have their own encryption system and can perform both hot and cold wallet functions. The cards are supported by an app that comes with the legal currency storage function, credit card function, and an electronic payment service. These features eliminate the time required for block confirmations when performing digital currency transactions. Interesting. So this card is paired with an app. And another interesting thing, it implements both a hot wallet when the Wi-Fi function is turned on and a cold wallet when the Wi-Fi function is turned off. So this is exactly how I would expect and how I would hope that the traditional banking industry would trend towards. Yes, with this card, I'm sure you don't hold your own keys. Yes, this is a centralized way to spend cryptocurrency. But if cryptocurrency is to be a thing, this is exactly how I would want to see the world trending. And while today it's SBC Bank, this puts the pressure on Chase. This puts the pressure on Bank of America. This is another snowflake in the snowball that's rolling downhill, that's setting up for a crypto future. Next story, and this is before we get to the big Bitfinex Lightning Network news. This is before we get to the Binance news. This is before we get to those three charts at the end of this video that, to me, signal a very bullish future for Bitcoin, and also what signals a bullish future for institutional investors to get in. Before we get to that, check this out. 64% of the Bitcoin supply has not moved since 2018. This highlights demand among many investors. And according to the data, the amount of dormant Bitcoin as a percentage of the total supply has sharply increased in recent years. The trend has remained intact during both bull markets and bear markets, signaling a desire among investors to save rather than spend, regardless of profitability. And this is that data. Check out this chart. This is the cumulative sum in dormant Bitcoin addresses. And you can see over the past couple of years, people just are holding. They're not selling, they're not trading, they are holding. And I think, I've brought up this point before, just my opinion, I think the reason we're seeing so few addresses selling is because this is the first cycle where people are realizing that Bitcoin might stand the test of time. Hey, it's been around 11 years. I think we could easily see another 11 years out of it. And if that's the case, there's going to be some Bitcoin that you don't want to spend just in case this thing really takes the market of gold or the market of money. So it's an interesting metric. Next up, this is another huge deal. Bitfinex, one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges, is now supporting the Lightning Network when it comes to deposits and withdrawals. The cryptocurrency exchange announced in an email Monday that it will support Lightning Network deposits and withdrawals starting today, December 3rd. According to the CTO, the exchange sees promise in the Lightning Network and hopes to bring the protocol to the masses. He says, in Bitfinex, we think that the Lightning Network can be the game changer of our industry, since it enables P2P micropayments with small fees and high throughput. Its P2P nature carries the unstoppable force of Bitcoin. Still, it requires more awareness, understanding, and adoption from the larger crypto community. A major exchange supporting it will speed up this adoption process. And again, this is exactly what we need to see. Lightning Network, it's a big deal to many Bitcoiners. It's going to allow you to transact Bitcoin instantaneously, privately, as a second layer solution. So you don't lose the decentralization of the base layer, but through the second layer, you can still have the fast payments. And if Lightning Network is the future, the point is this: we would expect to see crypto companies adopting it as it gets developed, and that's exactly what we're seeing. So today it's Bitfinex. I'm sure tomorrow it's going to be Kraken, and then probably in the far future Coinbase. But you can see where this industry is trending. This is a green flag, in my opinion. Next story, a little news coming out of Binance. Binance adds support for Tezos staking. So Tezos, it's not a cryptocurrency that I hold, but Binance is allowing you to stake certain altcoins that are proof of stake on its platform. So you can keep your Tezos on an exchange and still stake it and gain the rewards. And they're doing this with a few of them, I believe. So I just wanted to point that out to you. Final piece of news before we get to how we're going to end this video, and I want your opinion on whether or not you think that these three metrics are going to pique the interest of institutional investors. But final piece of news before we get to that, this was only just reported 1 hour ago. SoFi, which is a large financial firm, has just obtained its BIT license to offer crypto trading services in New York. So, California-based financial firm SoFi has acquired a BIT license from the New York State Department of Financial Services. The overall bigger point, is that SoFi is now one of the 24 crypto-related firms that have obtained this license since 2015. So, specifically, SoFi has acquired 2 licenses, a virtual currency license, a BIT license, and a money transmitter license, which will allow the SoFi digital assets to offer crypto trading services to its New York customers. They will be offering Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, Ethereum Classic, Litecoin, and Stellar. Again, the world is trending towards a particular way. In 2017, when Bitcoin pumped up to 20,000, we didn't have a lot of things like this. In fact, exchanges, Binance wasn't around. Exchanges were actively turning people away, saying, sorry, we don't have the infrastructure to allow you guys to buy Bitcoin or whatever you want to buy. That is vastly changing, and I hope you can see that. And last but certainly not least, Plan B himself recently pitched Bitcoin to institutional investors, and with these 3 charts, he got amazing responses. So we're going to go through each of these charts real quickly. I'm going to explain them, but let's start with the first one. So of course, the question that institutional investors have is why invest in Bitcoin? And one of the main answers is a high Sharpe ratio. And we'll explain it, but you can see here that Bitcoin is above stocks, it's above real estate, it's above gold, it's above bonds. In fact, this blue line right here has been above all those things since late 2013. So, what is a Sharpe ratio? Well, a Sharpe ratio is risk-adjusted returns defined as the return on investment over risk, where risk is calculated as the changeability, volatility of return on investment. This is officially known as a Sharpe ratio, and if you do a standard deviation, you're able to compare it with different assets, and you can see that Bitcoin tops the chart. So, comparatively, Bitcoin has maintained a Sharpe ratio between 2 and 3.5 since 2014. Rarely has it dipped below 2, but has peaked as high as 4.06 at the height of the 2013 bull run. Currently, Bitcoin has a Sharpe value of 3.2. And just so you know, usually any Sharpe ratio that is greater than 1.0 is considered acceptable to good by investors. A ratio higher than 2 is rated as very good, and a ratio of 3 or higher is considered excellent. So this is something that institutional investors look for, and it should pique their interest. Bitcoin, now that it's establishing a history, 11 years, investors are going to look at it. So let's combine this chart, the Sharpe ratio, with another thing that the institutional investors will look for, and that's a non-correlated asset. So if you can find an asset with a high Sharpe ratio that is uncorrelated to every single other asset they hold, as in it might be a great hedge in something to diversify into and put in their portfolio, Bitcoin tops the chart. It's uncorrelated to every other asset, and that's an interesting sell. And then, of course, the third chart, we've talked about this before, is that Bitcoin is 95% correlated and cointegrated to stock to flow. And because Bitcoin has a fixed supply and its supply flow is known, we can tell what a fair value of Bitcoin might be in the future. And this, again, is very interesting to institutional investors. I tend to agree. I'm going to like this, and I've already shared it. And that is it for me today, my friends. This is Aaron at Altcoin Daily. Let me know what you found the most interesting in today's video. Let me know what news story or chart you found the most interesting. All right. See you tomorrow.